Epetedo, a small community in Lagos Island, is nationally recognized because of an action of one man, Bashorun Moshood Kashimawo Olawale Abiola.
It was on that soil, on June the 11th, 1994, that the man generally believed to have won the June the 12th, 1993 presidential election, annulled by General Ibrahim Babangida, declared himself president of Nigeria. A move that led to his arrest and imprisonment, where he died under mysterious circumstances during the regime of General Sani Abacha. Ahead of the first celebration of June the 12th, as Democracy Day tomorrow, Nigerians remember the legacies of the late MKO Abiola. Joining me now is a pro-democracy activist, Colonel Tony Inyam, retired. Thank you for joining us on TVC Breakfast.
Thank you.
Now, when you look at the statement or the declaration made by MKO on the Epetedo ground, would you say that Nigerians at the time really understood what he was trying to say?
I think some did, but I wish they did. It was better understood, because if they had risen up to what what was calling for, we would have had the kind of the Arab Spring in Nigeria. But having said so, I think Chief MK Abiola was quite even if you go by his name, Kashimawu, in other words, Ashimu, no?
You're still looking at it.
We're still looking at things, and that's why we're discussing him, and that's why he's been immortalized. But I think we do pray that this Kashimawu will lead to President Muhammad Buhari rallying around Nigerians, and I think even those who appear to be his opponents, which is the likes of Obasanjo, General Danjuma, you should reach out to them, because we have one of the biggest challenges we're facing, security.
But these people are in the country and they can feel the pulse of Nigerians when it comes to security. So does the president have to reach out to them? Can they voice out? Can they make the suggestions to the president?
I think it's because some of them have voiced out their opinions, and it looked in a way, I think they've voiced out their opinions. I think the best thing now is for them to do it quietly, and the president should reach out, because the president is the president. He has to reach out to them, especially when these chaps were his seniors, because the state of insecurity we're going through now requires everybody to be on board. Things are not, we're really facing the biggest challenges we've ever faced.
All right, back to the statement, the declaration made at Epetedo ground. Some are of the opinion that perhaps if he had made the declaration earlier than when he did, if he had not waited for 1 year before making that declaration, that things could have been different.
I think Chief MK Abiola was disappointed by many people. And one of the biggest people to disappoint him was he trusted General Sani Abacha, and he disappointed him big time.
Why would he trust him? Because they were at two different
No,
points.
initially, General Abacha pretended to be working with him. In fact, when he was in exile, MKO was in communication. And, you know, the usual thing is that MKO was to trust him, like every good man. So, and I think the thing is, see, good people at times are not as clever as worldly people. So they tend to be, they tend to be outmaneuvered by people who are very worldly and crafty. And that's what MKO suffered. In any case, having said so, today we are remembering MKO in a good way. Yesterday, a few days ago, we were remembering Abacha who stole money. So I would rather die like MKO than die like Abacha.
So would you say that, because another aspect, he mentioned a lot of things in that declaration where he talked about having a government of national unity. How would you translate that now when you look at Nigeria?
I think by that he means that, if I'm now, is that the mistakes President Muhammad Buhari made in his first term of being too sectional should be corrected, because MKO wished that a government should be all Nigerians should be represented.
Should be people driven.
The representation
Okay.
should represent all sectors of Nigeria, not a government where, like we saw in the last 4 years, was the good appointments were by one section. I think MKO wanted representation, and that was why MKO was a man of all Nigerians, and all Nigerians voted for him, in spite of the ticket being a Muslim ticket.
All right. Colonel Tony Nyam, retired, thank you for your time on
Thank
TVC
you.
Breakfast.
Thanks very much.